Zaia and I were both part of the neuroscience program at Wake Forest. She was a PhD student and I was in the master's program. I first saw her in a neuroanatomy lab. Of course, I thought she was very pretty. And our first interactions together were really just class projects and groups getting together and things like that. And what I really liked about her is I thought she was very outgoing and found her to be like a very fun and loving person and someone I really wanted to get to know.
So we met at graduate school, and our first class together was neuroanatomy, but I honestly don't remember seeing him on that class, and we took some other classes together like after that, and we were kind of on the same study group together, and that's when we were starting to like get acquaintances and like being kind of hanging out together. We had our first date at a Japanese restaurant, which I love and also he loves, but it was kind of weird, like I don't feel we clicked, and he did not wait for me to get inside the house to leave, and he will tell you that I did not wait for him to stop the car to open the door. Apparently, I don't remember that, but we kind of like didn't spoke much after that, and then he was also taking the next year he was taking another classes. I was retaking neuroanatomy, and there was a person in common, Aisha, who is the maid of honor, and she was telling me like, hey, I met like this great guy and I think you guys would hit it off. Let's all hang out together as a group. And when it was Whitt, I was like, we already know each other. I know you're great. And that's when we started getting together more as friends.
Eventually, we started to hang out a little bit more. I asked her out what I thought was a date. For a little while, we were kind of going hot and cold on each other. But this, what I thought was a date, I now know that she didn't know it was a date. But that's okay. We eventually just started to hang out a little more over the next 2 years. I would sometimes cook meals. I would bring them over, and we would, just watch TV shows and just hang out. We would talk about our days, classes, since we were both in the same program. We both were doing research in labs, so we both had very similar things to talk about. And I really enjoyed getting to know her. And although the relationship wasn't escalating to the point that I would like it to have, I really enjoyed her friendship and still, sharing my experiences with her. But eventually, a close friend of both of ours, Aisha, who is the maid of honor, she kind of gave us a little nudge together, and just came and said, what's going on, guys? It was funny because some of our friends thought we were dating, but we weren't really dating. But after talking with Aisha, she gave me a little nudge. I asked Zaia to dinner at her house, as we would normally we would do on occasionally on the weekend. We would just have dinner and talk about our lives. And it was at that meal that I asked her that I wanted to take our friendship and to the next level into a relationship. And I was very, very happy when she felt the same way. And that's when when our dating relationship started.
I think our friendship got solid around 2017. It was when we were on my apartment every Friday and or Saturday. We were watching The Walking Dead, having dinner and having desserts together. And it was just great because it was just the two of us. We would talk about our days. I was having some difficulties at work, and I would just talk to him, and he would just listen and getting him advice, like just opinion, and it was great. So we were also bonded by The Walking Dead. And then it was always our motto, our thing, it was he would make dinner and I would make dessert. But then one day, April 20th, 2018, he made dinner and dessert. And I was like, that's weird that he's making the whole dinner. And he brought 2 bottles of wine, and it was when he said that he wanted to be more than friends. And also kind of weird because everyone at school, when we would hang out as a group or went on an outing for the graduate school, everyone thought we were already together. Some people even thought that we were married before. It was just that because we were that close and we were like always together. It was always the Zaia Whitt like thing. It was just like a unison thing. I don't know, I was very slow on noticing his signs, and I was even telling some friends, like, I don't think he likes me that way. And then Aisha said that he tells him, dude, make a move, because she is about like to think you're just like a friend and friend zone you for life. And then he said that he wanted to be more than friends, and it was great.
After we decided to start dating, it was really, really great. We had a little mini honeymoon phase, and we stayed together for quite a while. We didn't. Neither one of us knew like what it would bring, but we started sharing some very wonderful experiences together. Traveling. We had a very nice trip to the beach, the both of us, which I remember, which was wonderful. That was about 2 months into our dating relationship, and over the course of the next couple of years, we had a lot of shared experiences together that both of us, I think, kind of grew, both as just individual people and then as well as a couple. I had started my new job. She was still finishing her PhD. And both of us were, really helping each other and supporting each other through these, which I really think helped us grow as a couple. Early on in our relationship, it was 2019 in the summer, and this is what we consider. We hadn't really started thinking about more long-term things yet, but we were in New York City, and we're getting coffee. And I told when the barista asked us what name it was, and I said my last name, Morgan. And she kind of looked at me like, "Oh, it's Morgan." And that was the moment that we kind of consider our pre-engagement.
When we started talking about the serious stuff, I think it was. Kind of like a progression, talking about like marriage and finances and kids in the future and getting married and it was a progression, and we really like going to the beach. So we kind of save our big talks and big conversations for the beach. We know we want to talk about it, so we're like, okay, let's go to the beach, take a couple of days, take long beach walks, and then we will talk about it. And we honestly never fought. We just discussed our point of views and we try to understand where the other one is coming from, and we would just move from there.
I had started to look for rings. She did give me a few hints of what she did not want, so I took that into account. And I thought I had one picked out for our 4th year anniversary, but she later told me that she wanted to have a color in it, and not just just one color, like just white gold in a diamond. So I started working on picking out the ring, which I eventually found one that I liked and I thought she would really like. And in December of 2020, 2, I proposed to her. I was pretty anxious about trying to figure out how I wanted to do it, but I settled on putting the ring on inside of a lily, because her favorite flowers are lilies. And so I decided to, in the engagement ring I got her has petals on it, like so it has a very floral design. And I decided I was going to put it in the lilies and surprise her on Friday. She was traveling for work, and I think she was gone just about the whole week. And so I was going to surprise her that Friday on December 16th, 2022. And so I put, and the funny thing was I was trying to put it so it wasn't very obvious when she was going to come in the door, and she wouldn't just see it. And she would only see it when she came in and looked down at the flowers. But I think I maybe did that a little too well, because when she came in, I helped her bring in her stuff, and she didn't quite see it. So I had to tell her, hey, Zaia, look at the flowers. And she was, oh, yeah, I see the flowers. Thank you. It wasn't very unusual for me to, get her flowers. But then I had to kind of direct her attention directly to the flowers, which she was absolutely shocked that she wasn't. I think she knew what it was, but also didn't quite know what it was happening at the same time. And I got down on one knee in the living room, and I asked her if she wanted to spend the rest of her life with me. Of course, she said yes. Well, she actually said, of course.
Proposal story. As I am very tired. I get very tired and I get cranky. And I was on a long week work trip in Washington. The night before, I was talking about marriage with my cousin Manny, like literally the night before. Comes that Friday, I was from Washington, flew down to Raleigh. I was driving from Raleigh. I stopped for gas, I stopped for coffee, and then I came home. I walked down the garage door, and there were lilies on the center table. And I had a hard week, so he got me flowers because I had a hard week, and that's what he's doing. I acknowledged them. I was like, that's great, thank you for the flowers. We kissed. It's been a couple of days we haven't seen each other. Awesome. But then he was like, oh, look at the flowers. I was like, I already did. Help me unpack, unload the car. So I was just throwing things at him. I was taking my shoes off. He was like, no, really, look at the flowers. I was like, wait, I already did. I just want to take my shoes off, put my keys up. I'm tired. I've been driving and it's been crazy work. And I walk past the lilies, went to put my keys up. And he was like, really, look at the flowers. I was like, I did. What's going on? It's fine. I already acknowledged you the flowers. And then he got my hand and he pointed to a specific lily that had the ring on it. And I started hyperventilating and screaming. I was like, are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you doing this? He went down in one knee, said that very cute things, that he is very happy with me. He's looking forward to spending the rest of his life with me. And he said, você vai se casar comigo, which is, will you marry me, in Portuguese, which was very cute. I started crying, and did I mention this was in December, so it was cold. I ended up after that on a tank top because I was getting so hot and nervous and sweating that was tank top and not cold anymore at all. Called everyone, it was great. He said that he picked out the ring himself. His parents were able to keep the secret. So we called my parents, screaming, called Celeste, his parents. It was all crazy. And yeah, we celebrated. He picked a day that nothing didn't matter to us, but now it's special. He said that he picked out the ring himself. He put the 2 birthstones from his month and my month inside the ring. The ring has petals that look like lilies. And his parents were able to keep the secret because apparently he got the ring like 2 months before. So it was around like Thanksgiving. So big family thing, and I didn't know a thing. So that was really good.
So firstly, I do love how caring she is, and how supportive she is. She's always there, and not just for me, for friends and family. She never hesitates to offer to help out when when a friend or family member or me is in need. And I really love that about her. She's a very intelligent woman, and I love that about her. Her independence and her own drive to move forward. I love that very much about her. And I also love that that both of us, we share a sense of humor, and both of us kind of can be silly and childish together, and both of us are comfortable with that. And I love that both of us are kind of family oriented. Both of us are close to our families, and that's important to me.
Specific things I like about Whit. Of course, I love his cooking. With exception of a very few hours on Christmas Day where his brother bakes the beef Wellington, which is great, and then his brother is my favorite twin on those very few hours on Christmas Day, but then Whit becomes to turn my favorite twin throughout the year. I really like that he keeps me calm, which is very much needed. He is also grounded. He is just like a great person. He is the definition of partner. He is the person that I want to tell things to and share work things, life things, anything that happens, even the smallest little anything. He's the person that I want to call and share anything with, and I can wait to what's going to happen in the future for us. I'm very lucky to have met him.
So, moving forward, both of us are eventually looking forward to starting a family together. That's, our probably our next milestone. And as well as finding a place to settle down. That's always a topic for conversation where we're going to move next. Probably going to stay in North Carolina. But that's something that I'm just very much looking forward to. Just starting a family, settling down, getting a house, and just living life with her, and continuing to share our lives together.
This day, it arrived. 6 years to this date. Starting getting a little nervous. Needed to put all my dress and things on. I really hope the day goes smooth, and I hope he's not very nervous. I know he is, and we try to calm each other, but we're not talking because we have to meet later. I just really looking forward to see what these days goes. The weather is beautiful, everyone here is looking great, and really I just can't wait to get married with you one more time and just seal the deal for sure. Now is the time. I'm just really, really lucky and looking forward to doing all this with you.
All right, kiss, 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 kiss. Nice.